looking at the audience score for this movie.
Oh.
Which is very close to what I told you on my...
Well, to be fair, I don't actually think that, like, the audience score should matter for a movie like this. Because I feel like
PSA from
maybe
1951.
3 people saw this movie, including us.
Yeah.
I think my favorite review so far... Yeah, my favorite review of this is... When the world's deepest oil well unleashes a race of peaceful moment.
Oh, shit. This Red Bull tab just pulled...
On your beard?
3 hairs out of my mustache.
Oh, wow.
That hurt really bad.
Well, we're recording.
It's one way to trim.
Welcome. Hi. Welcome to the show. All right. So yeah, I'll take the lead here. I'll introduce what we're doing, say who I am, and then we can go down the line saying who we are and why we're doing this bizarre shit.
Turn off your phone.
Yeah, David.
I'm not the only one on my phone.
I haven't opened for research.
You're the only one presently.
Stop doing your damn sports job.
I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's looking up this movie.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at audience reviews of this thing.
So be sure to pull up Amazon reviews. It's gotta have some.
Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, audience scores are fine. I thought that you meant like critic scores.
Oh yeah,
I was like critic scores. No, nothing matters.
Well, it was the 50s.
This guy gave a 4 out of 5.
If it was a moving picture, then everyone thought it was really cool. The critics would give it whatever. Were there critics?
There was no critics on this one.
Were there critics in the 50s was my question.
Yes.
I'm certain there were critics in the 50s.
There's always critics. All right. So what name did we decide on? Stupendous?
Superfluous?
Superfluous, spectacular, stupendous, whatever the hell you want to call us.
No, just superfluous.
This is the Superflick Podcast. I'm Devin Fry. I talk about sports on TV. I'm a big fan of, I guess, basically just Spider-Man and Batman comics. Those are the ones that I really cared about. But, I did research on the other ones. Sure. So, I know a little bit, but not a whole lot. And the co-founder of the podcast is...
I'm David Parker. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. I got a list of characters that I really like. I'm probably not going to go in depth
he
right
reads
now.
it every night. He's like, "Oh, Daredevil."
It's his prayer to go to bed.
Daredevil does not reach the top 5.
Hot take. And so, what's your level of expertise going into this one?
I've probably have a comic book about every superhero at least at one point. There's a superhero. What I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Go on.
This is your story.
There's
the origin.
The origin.
I have a comic that has at least Batman, Spider-Man,
all the big hitters there.
The big ones. I have a lot of littler ones as well, but not as many.
So you're basically our database for this kind of stuff. The subject material is how I'm going to approach it anyway.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't consider myself any kind of authority.
And he's modest too. And joining me to my left is introduce yourself.
I'm Aaron Walling. I'm also a sports personality on TV.
Exactly.
I talk about sports here in Alaska.
He's a personality.
Don't give the location.
We can't give our location. They'll find us. We're in a subterranean...
They're going to triangulate the entirety of the world.
We're in a subterranean lair somewhere in the Arctic. That's all they need to know.
Meanwhile,
we are the moment.
6 miles below the center.
6 miles below We'll get to that.
That's too early. My favorite superhero is actually Static Shock.
Oh my god.
Because there's
what brand is that?
Why did we let him in?
Our other guy
okay.
What
is
publisher
that
is
a cartoon?
That's DC, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, it was DC. A cartoon, right?
It was a cartoon.
There was an episode where
Warner Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah,
he was on Kids WB.
Yeah, the guy who rode around on a trash can lid. Come on.
You're a loser. All right, Josiah, introduce yourself.
Okay. So I'm Josiah Martin. This is the first podcast I'm ever doing. I was apparently the third guy.
And the last.
And the last.
That makes sense. It's 4 of them. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for a guy who's interested in movies. I'm not much of a movie junkie, unfortunately. I'm hoping that turns around with these fine gentlemen. This
is us bringing you to our level of just watching movies all the time, no matter if we like them or not.
Yeah.
Parker and I had film classes together.
Yep.
So we've seen some bad things.
You actually watched movies in film class?
No, like
That
we
was
had
the
to watch
entire
other
film
people's
class.
projects.
Oh man, student films are the worst things ever.
Clip Art Dragon.
Some of them are really. Yep, Clip Art Dragon. I remember that.
What's Clip Art Dragon?
Please don't tell me that was the name of it.
Was it called Clip Art Dragon?
Ooh, I wish that was the name of
No,
it.
it was so bad. The guy did a fantasy project, but the guy that in my classes we had the director and the editor. The director, he did a really good job getting his actors. The editor literally took a clip art picture of a dragon and put it into the movie.
It's perfect.
Oh my
And he
God.
now works for Sci-Fi, right?
No, this guy actually does not work for any production.
Shocking. All right.
That level of quality surpasses sci-fi as well as far as I can
You
tell.
got an actual clip art dragon? Wow. We just had a dog with a mask on it.
Right.
All right, and I had this idea to. I've always loved podcasting. I love movie podcasts, and I texted David, and I decided I was like, let's do a review of every superhero movie.
You
ever
told
made.
me I would never say yes.
Well,
to
yeah,
it.
because you're normally an asshole to me. So I was like, hey, remind me at work to tell you about this idea, not here where you can crush me. I want to talk to you
Right.
about it in person.
You're not
like,
wrong.
just tell me about it. And so I sent him the message, and he was like, I've been thinking about doing something like that for a long time. Here's a list of 500 movies. I was like, okay. And so, we kind of had to dial back on that a bit. So we got it down to a solid list.
147.
147 films, and we're gonna work through that. I'm not sure how often these are gonna come out, but we need more than one a month, so we don't do this for the rest of our lives. Is basically how I'm looking at it.
Right. This is basically our income. You can come to our Patreon.
We don't have an
Support it.
Patreon.
Not yet.
Minimum is $10 a month
That's more than a lot.
for the possibility of having an episode per year.
Behind the scenes look, watch our TV pro.
Yeah,
It's
please.
just a 3-minute video on his
It's just us at
vertical
work.
camera on his phone.
It's us, and we're not even doing like shout outs. We just read names.
Right.
It's like we don't even say thank you or anything. It's just a list of names. And
Can't
then we
pronounce
move
that.
on.
Thank you, 6969 X-Wing.
And the first movie that we decided to go with, we decided to kind of limit it to wide releases. We didn't do the serials. We wanted to do things that were official, technically.
Actually, I wanted to do
Wait,
serious.
You wanted to do the serials. We
This
cut
was
out the
decided
serials.
by you two, Josiah, and I walked into this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys were brought in, crying, kicking, screaming
You were welcomed.
by force. And so we started off
Much
with
like the Mole Men.
1951's Superman and the Mole Men, which is the first feature film based on any DC Comics character. So it's kind of the OG, you know what I mean? And basically starring George Reeves as Superman, directed by Lee Sholem, I believe is how it's pronounced, directed by Barney A. Sarecki.
It's Totopoulos.
It's Totopoulos. Thank you. God, I hate you. And it was produced by a production company, and I looked them up and couldn't find anything else that they've ever done. So that was crazy. And but yeah, it's the first ever theatrical
They weren't even
release.
they weren't even associated
superhero.
with the show that came after the movie.
I read that this was the they split this up into 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes for the TV series
Yep.
was Superman and the Mole Men, starring George Reeves.
That is accurate.
Wait, if they did that, when was the split?
Like, when did they cut it in the movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure it out.
I honestly don't think you really could and have it make
Like,
sense.
cut it like that? No. Well, what cliffhanger would there be? Like, I can't think. Anyway.
Yeah, I can tell you where the cliffhanger would have been.
I have an idea.
Are we thinking of the same thing?
No, I'm not-
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
thinking
we're
of
not
that.
thinking of when
No.
he gets.
I'm thinking that.
All right. Well, the movie.
I guess
For the
we were-
audio
we
listeners.
were all,
Yeah, touch the air.
we were all thinking of something different then.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the movie starts off with a really smoothly told Superman backstory.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought it was.
touching.
I actually thought it was better than the entirety of Man of Steel.
that's how they. That's how they need to be. Like, we know who this character is. I never want to see that barn again. I don't care. We know that he
Yeah, you're not
lands on
wrong.
that planet.
You're not wrong.
And so it's a really quick backstory. It's like when Krypton was destroyed, one baby came to Earth. He's now Superman. He fights crime, but he's disguised as Clark Kent.
Yeah, but how many Saturns did we need?
Yeah, it was George Reeves in the Superman costume posing against a space backdrop with 15 different Saturns.
Yeah.
Every planet had rings. I imagine it wasn't, in our galaxy.
Wait, this movie
Where's
had
Krypton? You're our David?
Yeah.
Where's Krypton?
Yeah, is it in a different galaxy or is it in our
I-
solar system?
It's not in our solar system.
Okay. Thank you, comic book expert David. I don't think that black and white really does the suit justice, but I mean, it was the
No.
technology at the time. No, wait. They had color movies then.
Yeah, in Russia.
Wizard of Oz was color. In Russia? They didn't know what a movie was in Russia.
Actually, that is not true. Stalin loved movies.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But yeah.
You can really admire the guy.
Jeez. Anyway, I don't think black and white's a good look on the Superman costume. I imagine the colors look, all kind of the same. So
Yeah, of all the black and white films out there, I feel like this one should be the one they choose to colorize.
Right. Yeah, the man who always wears a red and blue suit, I feel like that should be colorized.
Yeah, but if you colorized it,
It would look worse.
because the mold
It would look worse.
The moment would look bad.
No, I mean the suit itself. It was definitely made in like a day.
What if they Schindler's List it where it's only the cape is red, and then later you see that cape in a pile of dead
Oh yeah,
people?
dude, symbolism.
Pile of dead
Something
mole men.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, symbolizing the blood of all the mole
The
men.
Great Mole Man Holocaust in 1951.
Well, that's
movie-
almost what this movie
That's almost
is.
what it was.
Superman does say the words, "Stop that, you like Nazi stormtroopers."
Yep.
All right.
He said that in this film.
Yeah.
Okay, may
And it
I
was right
also
after
add-
World War II. So I imagine it cut really deep to be called a Nazi
Jesus
then.
Christ. Okay, so I stopped watching the film after the first 30 minutes. To be clear, I probably shouldn't even be here.
It's fine.
This, I couldn't do it.
You're gonna love the ending. All right. So we start off in
Jesus.
Silsby. They don't give a state.
But,
So
but it is the home of the world's deepest oil.
I have
Yeah.
that. It's-
Actually, I'm gonna look up where that is.
I think,
you think
I
it
think
exists?
Silsby. I
Does
think
it
there's a
exist?
Silsby,
Sure.
Texas. I think there's a Silsby.
Just
Texas.
world's deepest.
It is the home of the world's deepest oil well, according to their town sign.
Oil.
6 miles down, right into the center of the earth.
Yeah.
Something tells me that drilling is going to be a big part of this movie.
Hold on. But we're also told it's 2,500 miles away from Metropolis.
Right. I'm trying to map out this
So
universe's US
are
in
we
my head.
going? Are we going based on Batman v Superman Metropolis,
Where it's
which
like
is
in
right
New
next to
Jer-
Gotham?
where it's a New York, New Jersey
or
situation?
Are we going based on?
Nolan's, where it's like
Yeah.
a Chicago and New York relationship. I imagine it's a New York, New Jersey thing.
I would.
I don't know.
I don't like that.
But so yeah, oil workers are
wrong.
they're working on oil or whatever they do. I imagine probably drilling.
No, they weren't though.
Yeah, no,
They were not standing there because they shut it down. That's right.
Yeah, they shut it down.
But so a car starts driving down the hill and everyone's just shocked. They can't believe that there's this car coming, and that has our heroes, I guess, Lois Lane and Clark Kent. What do you guys think of the first appearance of our hero?
Honestly, I personally, I quite dig this Clark Kent.
Yeah, no, he's a golly gee aw shucks reporter like he should be.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
he's a loser,
but
which is
something-
exactly what we need.
Something that I noticed though is that when the car's showing up, the foreman goes, "Oh, it's Clark." Oh, like, how famous is Clark Kent
No
in this
kidding.
world?
He's a reporter,
I didn't
dude.
notice that.
He was
That's
a
awesome.
reporter 2,500 miles away
Yeah.
from
You
home.
guys, newspapers were big back then.
Yeah,
All right?
I mean, you would get one every 3
Daily
days.
Planet.
It's the Daily Planet. It's nationwide.
How's
Yeah.
no one notices Superman if he's that famous?
I hated Lois Lane in this movie.
Lois
So
Lane
true.
is probably written intentionally to be annoying. I
She
think.
had no
I-
purpose other than she bitched about Clark Kent the entire movie, and that was her entire job.
Or oranges.
Yeah, or the oranges. She was mad about the oranges on the ground.
The oranges were good.
Okay.
That was an excellent touch.
I don't know if you noticed it, Josiah, but why was the guy driving with oranges in the car and gives it to the old man like?
Well,
the
because-
old man's like,
Apparently,
"Hey."
they knew each other.
Yeah, I
They were
imagine-
like each other. The old man likes oranges, Aaron.
They were like common. Yeah.
Who doesn't like oranges? If I'm meeting someone and they pop out of their car and hand me a bag of oranges, I'll be hyped.
Actually,
Go
to
on.
help figure out where this damned place is,
Uh-huh.
what state is most known for their oranges?
Are we saying
Florida.
this is in Florida?
Could be.
It could be in Florida.
It's what, Key West? It's 2,500 miles away from
Look up if
Jersey.
there's a Silsby, Florida.
Did you find a Silsby? Were you
No,
looking
I
it
just
up?
I just looked up the world's deepest oil
Oh, I'm
well,
gonna
and that
look
would
up
be
Silsby.
Deepwater Horizon. The
Is it at Deepwater? Are they in
yeah.
Deepwater Horizon? In this
yeah, in
movie?
the middle. Yeah, outside of Texas,
Middle of
in the
Texas.
ocean.
Oh, man.
So as Lois and Clark show up, man with a suit and cowboy hat.
Lois and Clark shout out, excellent show.
Great show with what was his name? Dean Cain.
Not worth
Yeah.
mentioning.
That was Superman in that
Right,
one?
yeah.
I loved that. I didn't love it, but I like Dean Cain. Anyway, as Lois and Clark show up, the foreman, I guess, he goes and buries something in a shed. I wrote fetus ? So
Right.
I'm not sure. We'll figure out what it is, but I don't.
That's a little a little too dark for the time.
Could you imagine
Like-
if the 1951 Superman opens with some dude hiding a fetus in
Be
a
some
ship?
Kubrick film right there.
Did you just say Kubrick?
Kubrick.
That's dude. It's his retarded brother Kubrick.
Fair
He was also good in films.
We'll censor that. All right. The character
Not E
I
for education.
the character I affectionately dubbed Irish Grandpa. He's upset. Or no, he tells the Lois and Clark, who I guess are doing a story on the well.
Well, they were supposed to do a story that would like blow it out of like everybody would be like, oh man, this is the best oil well because it's the deepest
This
one.
is where
you
you
guys
go.
promote our oil well, please.
But then they find out actually we can do a completely different story because it's shutting down.
Perfect. It all works out well. Lois says the immortal line, "This is just Ducky." The 50s were weird. I don't know what just Ducky means.
I looked it up actually.
What does it mean?
And so it means like perfect or really good. And so
she was using it
she was using it
sarcastically.
sarcastically.
Oh, Lois.
This is just Ducky.
Oh, Lois, you're my favorite. Okay, so the guy who brought in Lois and Clark is obviously mad about the well being shutting down, but the oil dude's definitely hiding something. It's giving off shady vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're throwing tools into holes.
Here he drops the bombshell that they drilled at 32,720 feet. That's more than 6 miles down, to which Lois says that's practically the center of the Earth.
Practically.
Practically.
And I looked
I mean,
it up.
the Earth is only 12 miles long.
I looked it up, and as a matter of fact, the center of the Earth is actually 3,958 miles down.
Practically the center of the Earth.
So they doubled up the Earth in this movie. The Earth is twice as big as it was
So, a
as it is in
question:
real life.
does that mean this movie disproves flat Earth?
It
think it helps prove it.
I think it disproves
It disproves flat Earth, but
and proves hollow Earth.
Well, it opens a lot of
Welcome to Hollow
doors.
Earth.
It opens a lot of doors for other conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah.
The reporters.
I mean, to be fair, have you ever been to the center of the Earth?
No, I don't know. I can't tell.
I mean,
I've also never been to the world's deepest oil well in Silsby.
I think this guy's
whatever
just
the
I
state
talking
looked
is.
out of
up.
his
There's a
ass.
Silsby, Haiti.
Thank you, Aaron.
So this takes place in Haiti.
It's in Haiti.
There's no Silsby in the U.S. I looked up.
There's a Silsby, Texas. I know there is.
no.
Mark
it's
Henry.
it's
Mark Henry's-
Silsby, but it's spelled B-E-E.
Mark Henry's from Silsby,
Yeah,
Texas.
Silsby is spelled differently than it is in the
Okay,
film.
so this is a fictional town. All right.
Yeah, it says somewhere in the
A lot of people
USA.
couldn't spell in the 50s. I mean,
That
you gotta
maybe
you
it was
gotta
a
take
spelling
that
error.
into account.
They also think that they drilled 32,000 miles down, so we don't know what they're really
psychological
doing
problems. Radium, that's what's getting to them.
here. It's all radiation. It all boils down to radiation.
It's a very important plot line.
Yep.
So our friendly reporters now check into the Bates Motel. I don't know if it's actually the Bates Motel, but that's what it looked like to me.
It's all connected.
Clark then goes to check the well. He brings Lois along because she can't mind her own goddamn business.
Wait, wasn't that when she was like he was like, Lois, what are you expecting to find there? Right after he said,
He's like-
I'm gonna go there.
He said, "I'm going to go check out the well." She was like, "Well, I'll come with you." He's like, "Oh, Lois, what do you expect to find there?" She's like, "Well, what do you?" And then that's the whole conversation. Then they both get in the car and go back to the well.
What can you see with your woman eyes?
That's basically what it boils down to. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
Lois, you're adorable.
That's
Go back
the
to
thing.
bed.
pats her on the head, scoots her back into the
his hands on
room.
his
Because the thing is, when we do get back to the well, and he sees the doors cracked open, I thought Superman had like X-ray vision. Why is he like?
Yeah,
He's like, there's something going on there.
Well, if he uses it, Lois can find out that he's
what
Superman.
you can hear, like, what is that humming sound coming from you?
This is the most not caring if his secret identity is revealed Superman in the history of Superman.
yeah, I would
Without a
agree.
He has a verbal flub where he's like, later on in the movie, he's like, yeah, Superman flew. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? This is the protector of the
that
universe.
wasn't even scripted. Like he thought he was
That was
Superman.
an actual flub. All right, and
George,
now,
it's okay. You're not Superman. I am Superman.
George, please stop. You can't fly. He jumps out a window.
Shut up, Lois.
Because he was drunk, because it was the 50s.
Little do you know, that is how he died, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah,
No.
I really thought you were going to say George Reeves
I would have
died
felt
about
super
causing.
bad. Not really.
How did he die? Let me look this up.
Yeah, look up how George Reeves died. That's not the horse one, right? That's Christopher Reeve, who crippled himself on the horse.
he was gunshot.
Oh. Was he like, you can shoot me, I'm Superman? And then he got shot in the head.
Let's look. Okay.
Dead 59.
Ooh, death controversial.
Wow, he didn't last long for this. Why was the death controversial? Anyway, I'm going to keep this moving along. because something is about to emerge
Oh no.
from the well hole.
Oh my god.
No, hold on. Oh yeah, you're right.
No.
I was gonna
Did I
say
miss
something
something?
else happens, but no, you're right. We're right on track.
It's a 58-minute movie. I don't have time to miss anything. From the hole to twice the distance of the center of the Earth to the other side of the Earth.
Yeah.
Comes these creepy little Nosferatu-looking mole men.
Oh, actually, Aaron has a better description.
Go on.
I think when you look at these creatures, it's like if John Malkovich and Danny DeVito had a baby.
How does your brain work?
Honestly, I was expecting one of them to come out and just be like, "Hey,
They didn't say anything in this moment. It would have been hilarious.
trust me."
Start throwing garbage. Now I'm picturing John Malkovich and Danny DeVito fucking.
Yo, let's see if the wireless will let us go to Rule 34.
No,
Please no.
delete this. So yeah, they come. One of them. Or no, is it both of them? Come out of the.
Yeah,
both
yeah,
of them
well,
point?
There's
One
only two.
pulls the
helps
other
the
one
other out.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. That's right. That part comes in handy later when I was completely surprised. Anyway, they start creeping on the old Irish grandpa who's reading a magazine in a shed alone.
With his oranges.
I don't know why he's
I
there.
wrote.
Can't
I
forget the
wrote.
oranges.
My note is old man looking at porn again.
He might have been looking at porn.
Dude's out there like 10 at
He's all
night.
alone.
It was the
You know,
50s.
you
They didn't
can't
have
blame
cameras.
him.
Oh, did you guys get like the harsh audio cut?
What?
Oh, it happens throughout the entire thing.
Like it's this really dark, ominous, like really bassy music,
Right.
And then it cuts to Lois and Clark driving back down to the well, and all the audio
Yep.
just stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like actually got scared. Like I jumped. Like,
First 30 minutes, there's like 10 of those.
the silence
I've noticed.
scared
Did you
me.
just say the first 30 minutes, the only 30 minutes you watched?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I need.
He's an expert.
First 30 minutes, guys.
That's all I need to know.
Lois and Clark find the old man dead on the floor. People say like Batman vs Superman and like the current movies are too dark, like they kill people too easily. An old man dies in the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
So
Dude, he was very prevalent in the DC universe.
was he?
Yeah.
Top-
Old Man
top
Jenkins
Shannon?
with his oranges.
Old man Jenkins. He changed his name too.
Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't know. As a character that might be dead, you check his pulse, not his eyebrow. You know, he
right.
puts his thumb on his eyebrow and goes,
He's gone.
They were
Chick's
really.
head.
They were
But
really.
you know, like right then, they officially killed more people than the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm sure he'll come back in the TV series.
Oh, yeah.
"Is a moment."
DC's agent.
Body disappeared.
They start making.
He does. They brought him back down to the lair.
Oh, my God.
if he doesn't show up in the TV show, I'm gonna be real upset.
They start making t-shirts called Old Man Jenkins Lives.
Old man Jenkins lives. Clark legit just like abandons Lois to go look around. Like he just leaves her alone with this dead dude.
Well, first they call the police, and they on the phone, the guy asks him what's happening, and they're just like, I can't explain. There's literally a
There's an old
dead
man
guy
dead
on the
ground.
floor. That's
That's
all
all
you
you
have
gotta
to say.
What I thought was really funny is that when Superman and the foreman are talking, like, what's going on really down in that well? What has come up out there? And then the camera turns, and there's the doctor like performing an autopsy.
This is like
I'm
right
like,
there.
are you saying this with the doctor in the room? Like,
So as Clark's looking around, the mole men sneak through the window, get a little peek at Lois Lane, because they're perverts, is what the mole men are. That's all they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not dangerous. They're just kind of peepers.
Well, I
goes for all of
certainly
them.
hope
I
not,
wrote- yeah,
because they were with a child later.
Yeah, it's dark. This is a dark movie.
the chemical touch.
So, like, Lois spots them, they run away, and then she, like, tries to explain what she saw to Clark Kent, and Superman, an alien, has a hard time believing her about the creatures roaming around, because he's, like, really, at first, he's just like,
well, to be fair,
what are you
he's
talking
from
about,
another
woman?
planet. These guys are from the center of the
For
earth.
all he knows,
really?
for all he knows, they're from another planet. You never know.
I
So,
just love how she immediately pins the murder of this man.
oh yeah,
Who has no
It was them.
physical.
It had to be them.
There's nothing physical on the man suggesting that he was even touched.
Well, did you see how ugly they were? It had to be them.
That's exactly my note.
The thing is, if you look at it, Lois Lane's like reaction is much more tame than the whole town's reaction.
Well, she wants the things dead, but then after a bit, she's like, "Oh, maybe it was just because he's old."
Because
you know what I mean?
we're getting
Well,
close.
maybe we should listen to Superman, I guess.
Well, it's because we're getting close to my favorite character of this entire movie.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Is he canon?
Let's get to that.
Is he canon?
Is he canon? David?
No.
No, actually,
David says no.
it says on the wiki. that his only appearance is this movie.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let's get to
I'm glad you checked the wiki.
I know. I'm
appreciate
so
that.
glad you did the research. All right. So apparently, Clark starts interviewing the foreman. They found the glowing stuff underground that the mole men leave behind. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's the 50s and everyone's afraid of radiation.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh man.
And every glowy thing
Every
in the
glowing-
50s was radiation.
Every glowing thing is radioactive and will kill you. So.
This man was very from sudden
unless
back
it gives you
off-ish.
powers.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
But this what was he, a sheriff?
No, this
just
guy
foreman?
was just the foreman.
Foreman.
Yeah.
So-
The sheriff was much more useless.
He's
Yeah.
always like back offish from the very beginning, like, no, you cannot know.
Well, yeah, because he was keeping his buried
And then this
radioactive
reporter,
fetus
the
under
last guy you probably want that to go out to.
Well, he was like, all right, you want a big story? I got you a big story. And then he takes out the uranium or whatever it is.
Radium.
Radium.
No, he says it's radium. That's the thing is, he's so secretive about all these things, and then goes, well, I'll show you my my radium collection. I've got it in the corner."
Actually, here's
Completely unrelated.
Leaving old man Ninja's body.
So the foreman confirms that they have found the center of the Earth, and it's hollow, proving me right, and there are more people under there.
Yeah.
I wrote down here, because I thought this movie was going to be very different than what it turned out to be, I said Superman versus two mole dudes would be really easy. And it turns out that that's not how this movie went at all.
Yeah, no.
And they kept. I immediately felt bad for these poor things because they kept accidentally killing people. Because immediately they accidentally run a car off the road because they're so repulsive. Apparently, the only thing that was physically weird about them, they were small, obviously,
Wait,
and they had
I
huge
have a
heads
question.
and eyebrows.
I compared them to Dr. Neo Cortex from Crash Bandicoot.
They do look like Dr. Cortex.
yep.
That's accurate.
So, are they ever called mole men?
In the movie,
Yeah.
I don't remember. The
I don't
name.
think they're referenced as
because-
Molman.
Lois only
Because I'm looking
refers
at
to
the
them-
trivia here right now, and apparently when it was made into a two-parter, it was called The Adventures of Superman, The Unknown People, Part 1 and Part 2.
So
It was never referenced
They
as the
weren't
Mole Men.
sure what. Maybe they were worried that Mole Men wasn't going to sell well. Like for some reason.
Or Superman and the Mole Men sounded more like they're going to fight against Mole
That's
Men.
true.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
'Cause
deformed
that
child
was,
actors.
That was my.
Or we could just have faith in the producers that we thought it was such a forward-thinking, progressive film for its time.
Honestly, it was.
That the Mole Men was just like going to be translated as some racial term.
Oh,
They were like, we don't. Hey,
Like that idea came to mind.
We don't want people walking around calling other people mole men. All right,
Yeah.
we got to change
They
this.
had
Well,
that
I mean,
much of
have
a
they
grip
said-
on
They're the
society.
unknown people.
were they saying there was China? Society?
Whoa, okay, so I didn't even bring a demographic into
Josiah
this.
is normally the racist one.
No, I'm just
Aaron.
saying the
Why are
other
we bringing that
side.
into the podcast?
Okay, so the mole men or unknown people, whatever you want to call them. We don't want to say the M word around here. They're walking around the desert. They keep touching things, leaving them glowing behind them.
They keep looking back and forth, it's an unknown world.
They're just
like,
wandering.
everything could hurt them. They're just
They're afraid of snakes.
Yeah,
We
they don't like
For
snakes.
some reason, afraid of snakes, and they see a snake and they're immediately just like, ah! Like the first
No!
reaction is to be terrified of snakes.
Well, I mean, have you seen snakes?
They are.
I mean, come on.
I mean, mole men
They've been dealing with
are like
snakes.
probably a lot less brave than Indiana Jones.
That's true,
And
and he's
Indiana
afraid of
Jones is
snakes.
afraid of snakes.
That's how I scale everyone in my life. Is
Yeah.
how brave are they based on Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Josiah's leaving. Goodbye, Josiah. Okay, we'll be here. The movie cuts to a child reading a book while passing a basketball back and forth in her hands.
way later on.
And no. Is it?
Oh,
No?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Then what did we miss?
People already grouping together, getting torches and
No, it's at the same time. It's at
Yeah,
about
those
the same
happen
time.
simultaneously.
Yeah, it cuts back and forth between this little girl
Wait.
and the town meeting.
So I want to talk about my favorite character.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because,
And then we'll talk about the little girl.
yeah. Benson is my favorite character.
They have a.
This dude.
Well, I'm glad you know his name.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name.
He's the most named person in the film.
That's true,
Superman's always like, Benson.
Benson, put that gun down.
But yeah, the town's having a good old fashioned finding Bigfoot town hall meeting, and
Yeah.
Benson's leading the way.
Seemingly out of nowhere.
Clark immediately tries to be the voice of reason by jumping up in front and saying, "My name is Kent. I'm a newspaper man." That's a quote what he says.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to introduce myself from now on. My name's Devin. I'm a TV man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but But they like ignore him and they continue, and then Lois Lane goes, "Way to embarrass yourself, Clark."
Lois Lane's the only
She's the
asshole in this
special
movie.
one of the group, you know. She's gotta keep her.
Oh,
steady.
I have an interesting aside.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is something to do with like the fact that it was in black and white, and I couldn't like maybe it was grainy or something. Was I the only one who thought it looked like Clark Kent had leopard print glasses?
I didn't notice, but I'm gonna have to look at that now.
You thought that?
I'm gonna have to look at that now. It might have just been a graininess situation.
Well, it was
but
in every scene that he had
that's
his
fine.
glasses, though.
I hope he was. That's great. I really hope he was. All right, so there's a kid reading a book while passing a basketball back and forth in her hands.
Because it was a basketball.
It was a ball. Who cares? Are we gonna split hairs here?
Yeah, it was like a spotted ball. That
This
was
is
very
ball
important.
cannon.
Rubber and
That's canon.
Every time I'm like, I hear people complain about how we like waste our time playing video games and stuff. I remember that I could be reading, passing a ball back and forth in my hands.
Yeah.
And so the mole men show up at this little girl's window, which
She doesn't freak
I
out.
thought it was implied she was in the second story of the town hall. Because they hear her scream, because apparently everyone can hear each other in the
no,
Why would
she's
they
just
even-
down the street.
Why would the moment even do that for a second?
Why would they
time?
go in there? Like
Why would they be peeking through yet another window when the first time went so well?
the first time they ever met a person, he died.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Wait,
do
And then
know
they
what
did it
death
again,
is?
and Lois screamed
Oh,
her
they don't
brains
understand.
out.
He's just sleeping, and they're just
Yeah,
poking him with sticks.
but the thing is, that he
radioactive.
died, fell down, and then they pick up the orange.
Oh,
the
that's
orange
true,
is
because the
glowing.
orange was glowing.
Yeah.
They were curious, and they tried it, but the peel was on, so it tasted bad.
Yeah.
Now they think all surface food tastes bad. I didn't know how to word that.
Unknown people food. is-
So the little girl's just talking to the little freaks in her room that she wants to play catch with them, but the
Little
radioactivity.
freaks?
They're little freaks.
Whoa,
What?
okay.
They have giant heads and
know,
now who
unibrows.
sounds like the racist
That's me,
one?
I guess. I'm racist against mole men. What are you gonna do?
You mean the unknown people?
Come on.
Sorry, the unknown people. So the ball is now glowing because she's passing it back and forth to the mole men. Kid's definitely dead, I'm assuming, if it was radioactivity, which we learned later. The mom walks.
Spoiler alert!
Sorry,
wow,
spoiler alert.
Wow.
The mom walks in on a super
I
awkward.
didn't know we were at that part in the podcast yet, Devin.
Spoiler alert. 30 seconds late. The mom then walks in on a super awkward situation and screams about it. Thankfully, the town hall heard, and they leap into action.
Not only leap into action, but as Parker and I discussed, they assemble an army.
I have this too.
And my favorite part of the movie, you see in the background a guy literally rip a barber pole off the wall. That's his weapon.
The spirally saw. Everyone's walking by and he looks at it, he's like, you know what? And starts ripping it off the wall. And then walks away like beating
Yeah.
his fist.
It's like,
Oh,
I'm
I
ready.
did see this.
Well, I
It's
mean,
set
that's
up like a
real
location.
intimidating.
Well, that's
I'd be terrified if someone ripped a sign off the wall to beat me with it.
Well, because Clark Kent tries to stop them again, and Benson goes, "We're not allowing them to come into our place." I was like, "They're really against immigrants."
Was this one of the 800 times he tries to punch? Oh, no. That's when Superman shows up, which Clark runs away to become Superman as Lois is berating him about running away from...
He always does
Cyber
this.
food.
You're such a coward, Clark.
Always runs away. Another thing, where's this place even set?
You
It
mean
looks like
Silsby.
Silsby, but it
Silsby.
looks like a wild
Yeah,
west
it does look like
town.
like,
Yeah.
Like they've got a
Tombstone,
sheriff.
Arizona from 1812.
They've got a barbershop that they're just ripping poles from.
But
Everything's got porches.
The Old West was known for its barbershops.
Yeah.
Barbershop weapon.
as soon as I think of Old
They had a
West,
quartet right
cowboys
outside.
and barbershops.
That's the greatest weapon of all
Quartet
time.
right outside. I caught that. So yeah, Superman shows up. Full costume. I guess you can't really tell because it's super grainy, black and white.
And also, like, you never see him, pretty much, because when he flies, they just...
He's
pan away
flying
from-
backwards.
They
He's looking at them the entire time he's flying. Like,
fly sideways.
Where am I going?
Yeah, they get around showing him flying by using a crane shot, wind sound effects over the town.
Yeah.
He beats Bobo and the rest of the Finding Bigfoot team to the mole men. He then bends a man's gun. Right, he just grabs it and bends it, which I
To be
think...
fair, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I think in the 50s that was punishable by losing a hand. I'm not entirely sure.
No, this is not that. No, that was the Old West.
Yeah, the 50s.
Yeah, but the thing is,
punishable by law. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
what's great is that Benson leading this whole army is like, "You're not going to stop us from getting in there."
Yeah, he then tries to literally punch Superman in the chest, and then it just poof, he's the whole hand-holding thing. But
He picks him up for like a solid 5 seconds, speaks up to him, just puts him back down.
you better stop it. Sets him back down.
Yeah.
And then he tries to punch him.
Yeah, Benson, like I said.
Now without mentioning his name again, he really likes the name Benson.
He really does.
Benson.
Lois is super hyped about seeing Superman because he's a lot cooler than that Clark Kent nerd that she left behind.
Why is she even with him?
Wait, are they a couple in this?
I don't think so.
There's literally
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think
They're
there were a
just
couple in this.
reporters.
Really?
Yeah, they were just like partners, I think.
How does she not think it's weird that Clark Kent disappears in this random town in the Old West, and then Superman shows up 2 minutes
But
later?
she also mentions this happens all the time with Clark.
Yeah,
Clark always disappears.
it's so weird. He disappears whenever there's excitement, and then Superman saves us.
It's like in the same situation where the Daily Bugle gives Peter Parker a trip to like Louisiana,
Right.
And Spider-Man shows up to stop the lizard.
Yeah, it's like, man, thank God you were randomly in Louisiana this week. Thank God for
Give
Spider-Man.
me shots of Spider-Man.
So then we get our first real good look at Superman, which this is apparently what passed as a superhero in the 1950s, which was the biggest dad bod I've ever seen. I'm pretty hyped because I feel like
hefty.
You could clearly see the padding on
can,
the
you
side
can
shot
see the
when he's
padding.
picking him up.
But I could be Superman.
every 30-year-old drinking beer in the movie theater, which they could do because it was the 50s, is
gotta
just
sell
watching
the
it
toy
like,
somewhere.
I could do that.
You can do that in the Chinese theater.
Oh, exactly. You can drink beer? Awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta go there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's a Chinese theater?
this
In California.
the one where they have all the premieres and
You're
stuff.
talking about you're
Damn
like,
it.
man,
Here in our subterranean Arctic lair.
Legion of Doom.
Meanwhile, but yeah, so it made me feel kind of good because I was bigger than Superman. I don't know how you guys feel about superheroes, but I
Felt
want
empowered.
my superheroes to be jacked. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I want them to be smaller than me, so that I can feel better than
if
them.
it's like a funny superhero movie, like for the movie Superhero movie, for example,
Honestly,
Drake Bell's
I really
and
like
I
that
feel
movie.
really good.
I see what you're saying. Like, if with Superman's body, I was like watching it, I'm like, this is like Gennaro dad.
Yeah,
picked
it's
up off
just
the
dad bod
street.
Superman. The S doesn't look good. His hairline's receding. I don't know
I
why
was
this
saying the
passed.
costume looked like shit. Like,
Yeah,
even
no,
with
it
black
really
and
did.
white.
It was just like a marker on. It was curved. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of how Superman appeared in this movie. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I mean, I personally wasn't bothered by it, like because I've seen a lot of this sort of Superman, so I'm
Right.
like used to it. Like
Right.
that's fine, because
Well, because like even
at that time, like that was Superman.
well, even in like the
Right.
cartoons and stuff, like the old cartoons, you know what I mean? He was still pretty jacked, right?
Yeah. Well, his chest was like a trapezoid.
Yeah, exactly. He should always be always a giant chest. That's what matters the most. But yeah, so
Superman 64.
Superman, for whatever reasons, just like lets some of the townspeople go off and chase the Molemen.
Oh, yeah.
They get dogs out and
Oh, those kids.
the-
They'll learn their lesson.
Oh well, I'll have to stop them.
Golly gee! What were we about to say? The same thing?
Nothing
I
I,
stopped
can do
myself
about
halfway.
this. Yeah, so the dog sound effects start chasing the Molemen, who are now just like standing on a dam.
You know what's
for some
interesting
reason.
though? Like they sounded
Wait.
like sound effects,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like the dogs' mouths were matching
Well,
up.
I noticed every shot they showed, there was one good dog actor who I felt like cared about his role and
Right.
was well
Yeah.
prepared
He
and
read
knew
the
his
script.
lines.
He got
The other
into
ones were
character.
just sniffing the ground or each other's asses.
They were all wagging their tails too.
They were
were
all
like,
really
super
excited.
happy.
They
to
were
kill
super
them all.
happy.
Also, why were the dogs there?
They
They were just waiting in the corner.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then the guys
I
joined
don't know
them.
where
Like,
the dogs came from.
all right, team two.
Wait.
They did specifically
It's a canine
say
unit for fighting Bigfoot.
they did specifically say that they wanted the dogs to sniff them out, but then the mole men stop in like bushes and the dogs run right
Yeah, they
past
don't.
them.
It doesn't
on,
matter.
man.
I gotta ask this question. If they're sniffing for Moleman, what does a Moleman smell like?
Well, see, my thinking was that they could smell the radioactivity. Like they smelled one of those radioactive.
Does
spots.
are you
radioactivity
saying-
have a smell?
Yeah,
So
are you
dogs? I don't know.
Hey, this is
Maybe.
my dog Bucko. His nose melting off.
It was the 50s. They didn't care about dog safety.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
They
man.
didn't even care about their own safety.
They were testing their latest shampoos on those things.
The radioactive shampoo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My dog's hair shines and the rest of its body.
How do you think we
Look
got
at
to the
this
point in
shiny
human
coat.
history where shampoo was no longer tear-free?
Or tear
Tested it on children's eyes.
Yeah.
So the dog sound effects chase down the mole men who are now standing on a dam. Don't know how they got up there. Don't know what they were possibly
Don't give a
checking
shit.
out. I don't care.
Oh, but did you guys know
No.
that lying down stops you from getting shot?
It was so they just go to push-up position whenever they go. I love the moment.
They were waiting for the call. You know, they were going back to their gym days where the gym leader had the gun to tell them when to go. You know.
Yeah, but looking this up, and prior to this, these were like small people actors they used, and one guy was used multiple times in like the TV series.
I was actually conflicted if they were actually children or
the
midgets.
unknown people. The
They were
unknown
midgets?
people come back in the TV series.
Yeah, no, the guy that played it. He plays other characters in the series, but
Was there a big demand for little person actors in the
big demand for little people.
I mean, Wizard of Oz wasn't that far off from this film.
It was 20 years before this.
20 years before?
1939, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
serious? Yeah.
Why do I know
Hold
that
on.
off the top of my head?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because it
I'm
was the
kinda-
first colored movie.
Hold on.
What do you mean by colored movie?
Color
Aaron?
TV.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were going with that. All right. So anyway,
Recolored later on.
There's a lot of bad movies in the past. man.
1939. Wow, good job.
look at me knowing the use
1950
of
1 point for
shit.
Devin.
Birth of a Nation.
All right. So they're up there. Jesus, Aaron.
I know these things.
This is a superhero film, Tom?
There
Not
were
the political
superheroes.
one?
There were superheroes in Birth of a Nation.
Yeah,
Right?
Rise of the Valkyrie plays.
Yeah, the guys with the hoods. They were the superheroes.
No,
right?
no, they weren't.
They were
Yeah.
the good guys.
Yeah,
In
they
the
took
movie,
up
they
their
were the good
pillowcases,
guys.
they put them on,
Alright,
and
so I'm
you
going
know,
home.
they wanted to represent something real.
All right, we'll stop talking about the KKK. And anyway.
What?
Yeah, that was it. So they're up on top.
Josiah's reaction was.
So the mole men are up on top of the dam. They get shot, but they lay down.
Right.
And so the townspeople just watch them, stunned, not knowing how to
Just the
handle
guy on the right ducks back down. They think
Yeah.
he's fine. Like the other guy's like writhing in pain and freaking out.
it. So
Guys, I'm having a crisis over here.
what's up, buddy?
Because you know the guy who dies in this movie.
Yeah,
This was
Irish
his
grandpa.
this was his last film. Did he actually die?
They just used his body.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
How far deep does
The
this
character
go?
was going to be around to the end, but he just had a heart attack.
The
He saw
rabbit hole
makeup
goes
and got
straight
terrified.
down 6 miles to the center of the earth.
He saw the makeup and got terrified.
Well, we dug this hole. We gotta fill it up somehow.
Get in there, Pop Shannon.
But I'm not ready.
Get in the hole. He wasn't actually dead. They just killed him for the movie. Like, he dies in the movie, so they're like, all right, you're retired now.
Viking funeral at the
Listen,
end.
our insurance coverage for this is going to be a hell of a pay. We're not making our money back with this film.
You know how many people are going to see this movie? 5.
How much is your life
And they're all in
insurance policy?
2017.
Worth more than their life, apparently.
So Superman shows up at the dam to stop the town people from shooting the mole men because because Superman
Unknown people.
because Superman says they have done no harm and they're radioactive, so they might harm the water supply.
So
Because this is the
they
plot.
have done
It's the plot of
harm.
the movie. No, they could do harm.
Yeah, but they've touched a lot of things.
They don't know any better. They're basically children.
Deformed children.
And this Benson dude tries to punch Superman again.
No, he tries to shoot him, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
that's
shoots
right.
him. He cuts to a shot of him going, smug like.
staring
For
at
audio
himself.
listeners,
You
he's got
can't
the
see-
most
yeah, you
smug
can't-
face on him.
Well, I mean,
have you guys-
to be fair, wouldn't you have a smug face if like
If
some idiot tried
yeah.
to shoot you and you're Superman?
So I have a question though. Because with the cartoon series, all these other superhero movies, what is this suit made of? Like, what is the suit? Because it still get torn?
If you've
It's Kryptonian.
seen Man of Steel, yeah, it is
Yeah, it's
Kryptonian.
Kryptonian.
I'm not gonna go off Man of Steel.
I always go off of Man of Steel.
That movie makes me mad.
This
People-
movie is actually canon in Man of Steel.
Well, Man of
It's in the same world.
One thing you guys will learn about me, I love the DC Extended Universe. Go on.
Welcome to hell.
Wait, wait, are you saying?
No, I
suicide?
love-
Okay, let's
I
not
love
get into
all
that.
movies.
That's another
Let's not get into
discussion.
those
We'll get
movies.
there. We'll get there.
Eventually.
Yeah, we'll have an
Episode
entire
139.
podcast about just that.
How great those movies are.
Oh yeah.
Try to get into the
whatever.
mind
Rank
of
the
Devin.
DC universe.
Number 1, Batman vs Superman. Number 2, Suicide Squad. All right.
You're dead
Are,
to
are,
me.
you, are those your bottom two?
Yeah. No, it's not 2. Shut up.
The only two.
Okay.
So Benson shoots Mole Man 1, and the
No.
It was
Benson
old man.
doesn't. It was the other old guy that shot.
It was Old Man
okay.
Jenkins'
Yeah,
brother.
Aaron knows his Benson canon.
Yeah, I know about Benson.
Benson didn't shoot that guy.
Listen, you said you named the guy 10 times. You think you would get it through your skull.
Yeah, Benson didn't shoot him.
Again, he was the most
Benson
named
can't melt
person in this
steel
film.
beams.
My favorite thing that Superman does in this entire movie is he catches Mole Man 1 after he gets shot off the dam, and then takes him to the hospital. He literally says, he's like, I better get you to the hospital.
And that's as far as I got in this film.
Okay, there we go. Well, he straight up abandons Mole Man 2.
Yeah, he doesn't
He
go
leaves
back
it to
for
the
it.
mob. He doesn't give a shit.
We literally don't see Superman for like 20 more minutes.
Well, yeah, we get the
There's
little...
only 30 minutes left.
Yeah, no, seriously, he's right. We get the...
Yeah, Superman's not even
We
there.
get Mole Man 2 roaming around the desert for like the next 15 minutes.
And
because we
and
need to
second
see
best
that
part
again.
of this movie.
So I wanted to add on to something. Like, we've talked about how this movie feels like it's in the Old West.
Yeah.
Well, after Mole Man lies down in the grass and walks off, and the grass is like all shiny after that, one of the guys says, "What in tarnation?"
Oh my god, it's confirmed.
Is that the guy that tries to touch the glowy ground?
Yeah.
Benson's like, no, don't.
My favorite part on Mole Man 2's vision quest through the desert is he finds this dude camping, this random dude camping. And he's just out camping, and he takes a drink he does the old double take. He takes a drink of water, sees the Mole Man, takes another drink, spits it out, and then runs away from his campsite, leaving all his shit.
And the Mole Man finds water.
Yeah.
It's a small man. Midgets exist in this world. He found a Mole Man, you know?
Yeah, but this one had a big head.
This one had a big head.
And he was hairy.
Was that hair?
I don't know, but they mentioned that they're hairy.
I can't tell if it was hair or a black bodysuit. I couldn't tell.
What is the big deal about this thing? From that much of a distance, there's no way you could tell that
No,
they
exactly.
have like
I would
claws,
be
their
like,
body is made
there's
of
a little
fur.
person stuck in the desert.
Lois
That's
gets
unfortunate.
literal
why is he looking at
PTSD.
Go away. That would be the extent of it. I'd be like, shoo. Because that's how I approach people.
The doctor gives Lois, at the beginning of the film, after seeing them, a drug to get over the PTSD she got
here
from
you go.
seeing a bunch of little
Take
men
this,
peek in the
don't-
window.
And they said she's gonna remember this for a long time.
Yeah.
So, before the hobo part, a great scene is Superman drops this Mole Man off. So Superman then has to go off, get changed back into Clark Kent, turn back to this doctor, and then be like, let me help you perform the surgery.
Oh, yeah, no, we're getting to that. Oh, I have a whole discussion about that. But first, Mole Man 2, he goes and hides in a shed that he finds. Benson just decides to burn the little fucker down.
He decides to burn him alive.
So he sets the whole shed on fire.
What?
Yeah.
And there's an actually really distressing scene of this poor little dude trying to find a way out of the
Oh my
shed.
God, was that him?
And the dogs come up to the window so he can't get
Yeah,
out.
it's really distressing. And finally, for some reason, the Mole Man's first idea wasn't to dig. So, after a while, he loosens a floorboard for 20 minutes and then goes under. And then they just leave the burning shed. One of them actually asks, he's like, do you want to see if it's dead?
And he
Benson's
said,
like,
I
nah.
ain't got time.
Walks away. Benson.
So yeah, Mole Man 2 goes back safely to his original hole.
Yeah, he certainly does.
The Finding Bigfoot crew comes back to brag to the town. He's like, yeah, we got them both. We shot one and the other's burnt. And,
We're doing great.
And the guy who's trying to keep these mole men protected, right?
the sheriff.
Is like, well, actually, one of them's at the hospital.
And to which he's like, he said they're going to go to the hospital, or, they're going to go storm the hospital, to which the sheriff replies to Benson, you're not going to be stringing up nothing, Luke, unless it's a slab of bacon. What's that mean? Can someone explain
Have
this?
you never strung up a slab of bacon?
No, is that a thing?
Yeah, that's
think
how you
Devin's
cook
just
it
talking out of
in the
his ass
50s.
Yeah, they were going to hang this
hang
Mole
it.
Man.
Oh, yeah, they were. They were talking
That's why-
about
yeah,
lynching
that's-
it.
Yeah, no, they were going to lynch him.
But the thing is that
He wanted the whole town
we
to
have
see it.
we have two things. We have Benson wanting to hang this Mole Man, and then we also have the doctor saying, "You get that thing out of my hospital."
Like the Dr. Kelso character goes up to this doctor and he's like, you get the thing out of here. And the nurse is like, I don't want to help with this surgery. And so Clark's like, I'll do it.
With the other the doctor that's like,
we skipped a scene, though.
What's up?
When the sheriff was telling them about where that he was in the hospital, he says to Benson, "You're under arrest."
Oh, yeah.
And then Benson
The best scene in the movie.
punches him and tells the rest of his crew, "Take him to jail."
It's the funniest shit. Because the sheriff walks up to him, he goes, you're under arrest. And Benson doesn't say a word, he just goes, right in the fucking face. It was the
Oh
funniest
my
thing.
god, it's just
I
like
had
a
to-
room where they can just take people to jail and it's cool.
I had to pause it and rewind it 3 times.
What's
'cause I couldn't believe it.
because Benson just
Take him to jail.
Because they're like,
They took
Benson,
this
you're not
sheriff
going
to the jail.
They're like, Benson, you're not going anywhere.
Oh my
And he
God.
pulls out a gun and he's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Benson, calm down. Get You're,
Like the
Benson
sheriff,
has the most
like the
character
sheriff
development in this
doesn't have a
film.
gun.
Benson actually has the most personality in this movie.
He does, but
He's
he's the
straight
worst human
freaking
being ever
psychopath.
alive.
Yeah.
We gotta
Who's
murder
just
him.
been waiting to get it off.
So
Like,
the mob's completely taken over the town.
Oh,
Superman.
hey, we've gotten to the point in my notes where I said, "Where is Superman?"
Exactly. No, Clark's around. Clark's around. But Clark decides that he's going to assist the doctor because that's a thing all reporters can do.
right.
And the
Legally.
doctor then says the only difference between the mole man and the chest is exactly the same. The only difference between the mole man and people is their big head and hairy covering. They're inside. We're all the same. Get it? Get it?
It was a racist.
metaphor. He didn't
say get it, did he?
Talking about racism.
No, he didn't say get it. They might as well
Directly into
They might as well have
camera.
looked into the camera and been like, "We're all the same inside." Stared at it.
Everyone
for a while.
goes in an uproar.
Yeah, what? Yeah, but it was just bullshit. Benson's like, I will not stand for this.
Oh, so we haven't gotten to the point where the mole man comes back, but
My favorite scene in the movie.
like when the mole man went back to his people, I said, I can only imagine what this mole man is going to tell his homies.
You guys!
These guys just tried to kill me. They shot the other one.
They shot him. He's probably dead. They burnt me. They tried to burn me alive.
He fell off the structure.
They have these creepy little things on
have a
4
flying
legs that are
man.
just chasing
yeah,
and
they
barking at
have
me.
a flying man.
Their god is very active in their world.
It's really cool. They just won't listen to him, and I don't understand.
It's just they have their own like beginning of man. Like they have the fall of the mole man
So
when
they
they
just
ate
worship
fruit.
Superman forever.
Yes.
There's S's in every building. and, like,
Before
every
it was
kitchen.
their god was man, but then Superman came along. It's
Because
like
man
they
proved to be
tore
an
down every
asshole.
statue.
Yeah, man is the devil.
Yeah.
Superman is God.
Benson is their Satan.
The Dark Lord Benson tried to kill us.
The anti-man.
So there's 2 get it moments right in a row in this hospital because first there's we're all the same inside, and then Clark does his stupid ass. I mean Superman brought him to the hospital,
Right.
And Lois goes, "Oh, I think you're living a double life. You fucking get it?"
And Superman's like,
No.
What? No.
No.
like cut to the scene from The Happening.
What?
No.
What? No. So the Finding Bigfoot mob arrives at the hospital. I wrote down Superman should just kill all these fuckers. 'Cause whatever. Who cares?
Benson's leading the way.
They're trying to get in the hospital. Superman literally is like barricades himself in front of the doors. He says, Now I'm going to give you one more chance to stop acting like Nazi stormtroopers."
Oh, but before that,
That's a line.
they like Superman was standing right next to Lois, and this guy just
Oh yeah, he just takes a shot and almost hits Lois.
Yeah,
To which a really calm Superman replies with, "Well, you almost hit Miss Lane. I'm going to take away all your guns." And he does. He walks in the crowd, starts throwing people into people and taking their guns away. And then it cuts. And then the scene cuts. That's the entire scene.
well, you gotta say what it cuts to.
It cuts back to the hole. Mole Man 2 comes back, and he turns around and reaches down to help his friend, like I thought.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
in the
thought he
original
was gonna
scene,
help his friend.
He
Right.
pulled another Mole Man up.
I thought
he
he was
pulls
gonna-
up a giant laser gun and 2 other Mole Men. And one of them carries it like against his belly, like this, and he's just lumbering around.
Dude, it's Congo
lazily
all
around
over
the town.
again. Congo before Congo.
Oh my god, it's basically Congo, but with Mole Men instead of apes.
Unknown
That's a better
people?
movie. Sorry,
Congo, man.
unknown people.
A laser.
Tim Curry could be one of the moment.
Yeah, now. Have you seen him? He's slowly turning back into a pumpkin. So
Dude had a stroke.
they're going back to the hospital to get their. Thank you, Aaron.
To get their friend back.
Yeah, they're going back to the hospital to get their friend back, and Superman sees them. He's like, "I'll get him for you. You wait out here." Some random dude sees the Mole Man and snitches back to
Benson.
who is fucking done with this.
I love that Benson is he the mayor?
Yeah,
Who
apparently,
is he?
after he
No,
punches-
no.
when you punch the sheriff
the
in the face,
president.
you own the town. And
So Benson walks over to the mole men, and the mole men are just like, "Oh, there's the guy who tried to burn me alive."
oh hey,
So then they
points out to him.
they turn the laser gun on Benson.
they laser
Oh
the
my
shit out of
God.
him.
and they start just and I don't know what the gun does.
It just like, I think it's like a sonic beam situation because he's like covering his ears.
Yeah,
and
I
shit.
imagine it was like it's like I don't know, like rupturing his insides.
Yeah, sure. They hold it on him for like 30 seconds.
have you seen
And he's just like going, oh.
Have you seen the movie The Cube?
It doesn't say what he does. And then Superman just walks in front of it and he's like, stop it, guys. Here's your friend.
He absorbs it all in his chest, doing a stupid pose that he does every time someone talks to him with the old hands on the hips, chest puffed out, dad bod chest
It's where
puffed
Jim Henson got his inspiration for the soul-sucking machine or whatever.
out. Exactly.
In the Dark Crystal.
Wow, what a draw there.
Dude, it's all connected.
Yeah, they're the same.
This is the Godfather of
Wait,
superhero
so
movies.
Dark Crystal's canon with the DC universe?
Yes.
It better be.
I've been saying this all along.
I mean, there are comics.
You're not wrong. What were you saying about the Cube?
Oh, so like there's a scene in The Cube where a guy dies because of sonic waves. So that's what I was thinking. Like, was Benson gonna blow up? Like,
Oh my god.
That would have been so intense.
Oh, that would have been so brutal.
Explode.
So yeah,
and then it just cuts back to the woman holding a communist flag. Like, it just would have tied the whole message together.
yeah.
so Superman stands in the way of oh, by the way, the sound effects for this ray gun, I had to turn down my computer. It was hurting my head.
It was loud.
They were really brutal. It was like super high
because
pitched.
it was real.
Oh, okay. So it was hurting my insides?
Yeah.
As well as
Yeah, you could die any day now, actually.
Great, finally.
I'm so glad I didn't finish this movie.
See, is that the epilogue? Is Benson dies in the hospital?
And then Benson died because of radioactivity. Because they weren't radioactive, but the ray was.
The gun
This is about
was.
where we learned that they were harmless, right?
Yeah, they
That
weren't radioactive.
Gotcha.
But they had a radioactive freaking nuclear weapon.
They did have a giant laser gun, which I'm sure might have had some radioactivity.
No, the sequel discusses how they became a nuclear power in the entire world, and no one can be trusted. That's what plays into the Cold War.
That's where North Korea came from.
Yes.
They're all mole men.
I've been saying it
Well,
all along.
your note about third and fourth moment.
Yeah, you saw that?
What did you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you
Hold on,
guys.
where is
I'll
it?
tell you guys when we're not recording.
Let me read it.
Hold on 1 second. There it is. And anyway,
Oh no.
Superman stands in front of the ray gun and he literally says, "Go back where you belong," which I think is kind of fucked up. Whatever. And so Superman carries the wounded one, and they all go back to the hole to go back with Hillary Clinton, the reptiles, and all of them back deep into the Hollow Earth.
Right.
And my favorite part about this
Wait,
is
may I
yes.
discuss how the film ends?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we there?
Yeah, we're there. Lois comes up and talks to Superman, and he does the pose. That was my last note before the big
okay.
end. So yeah.
Well, so then, because they go down, and they've been drilling oil. It's the world's deepest oil well.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just tuning in now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Earlier on,
So yeah, it's the world's deepest oil well,
goes to literally the center of the earth.
and they decide we will destroy this. so the alien, they're not aliens.
Unknown
They're
people. Unknown people.
The unknown people use their ray gun and blow up the
drill.
the oil well, and
It wasn't BP who did the leakage.
I want to be like. I want to know if anyone else thought like
I didn't immediately until you brought it up.
are they all dead now?
They have to be.
Because they just blew up an oil well.
They drowned in freaking oil.
That led
Become fossilized.
It led all the way down to the center of the earth.
Oh my god.
In theory,
Where they live.
And it combusted the core, which blew up the world.
yeah, in theory, the world would have ended because it's an oil. I assume they were following a trail of oil down there the whole time. They wouldn't just keep drilling off of suspicion.
Yeah.
There must be oil down there. So they were following a trail of oil to the center of the earth, which they then caught on fire.
To be fair, the show might touch on this.
Maybe, we don't know. I'm not going to watch it.
Goes back
We're
to
not watching
Sylvie.
it for this.
No, no.
Hell no.
Oh no, we're not going through that whole TV
I'm done
show.
with Dad Bod Superman.
Now, that was our conclusion of that. Of the
Yeah,
moment.
that's how the movie ends.
But there's still one question.
No.
yes.
Yes. What happens to the town afterwards? Because Benson's still running rampant. The sheriff is in jail.
The sheriff is still in. I imagine.
Yeah, the sheriff's in jail.
I imagine Soups goes
A
and
dead body
fixes that
vanished.
shit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an Ed Gein serial killer walking around there, just taking bodies and stuff like that. But yeah, another thing that Superman says at the end. No, Lois says it because it has to be as ham-fisted as possible.
Right.
She's like, it's almost as if to say, "We'll live our life, you live yours," meaning that Lois is totally for segregation. This movie has a really pro-segregation thing.
yeah.
Of no, just leave the different-looking people alone, and we'll be over here. We'll separate from each other.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of It seems like don't judge people, and then
it kind of
immediately judge
kind
people.
of negates
Yeah,
the
exactly.
whole
The
point
entire
of the
point of the movie. But yeah, so that's the thrilling conclusion of 1951's Superman and the Mole Men. I expected the movie to be way dumber than it was. I honestly expected Superman fighting off waves and waves of mole people trying to take over the surface.
For its time, that would have been revolutionary.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was thinking of like the Underminer from The Incredibles showing up.
Yeah. Stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this has got to be the reference point for all the mole people that get referenced all the
right.
time. I don't know where this
But
whole.
no, I guess they're just unknown people.
Exactly. But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised.
Because they only had 4 small people actors in Hollywood.
All
Yeah,
right.
they couldn't hire like 30 other ones.
Well, no,
so.
they had that whole Wizard of Oz fiasco, and then after that, it was much harder to hire 40 munchkins at a time. Little people.
They all died of STDs because
Yeah, because
it's a little known
munchkin,
fact.
The munchkin orgies.
yeah, it's a little known fact that the Munchkin
Please don't say
entire
little
crew
known
cast.
fact.
Get it? The entire cast of the midgets went to their hotels.
You can't say that, Josiah.
You can. It's historical fact. During the
Wow,
shooting
okay.
of The Wizard of
I'm
Oz,
gonna look this up.
they all
yeah,
had
there was a
constant orgies.
There was little people orgies all the time.
Yeah.
All the
So
time.
that's why they
also-
only had
there's
2
also
midget
a
actors
rumor
for this
that
film.
one hung himself, and it's in the background of the movie,
Oh, in Wizard of Oz?
but it's not real.
It's not real, yeah.
I was a full blown believer in that in Wizard of Oz. I had the VHS tape and I used to try to show my friends all the time. But I had the remastered one where they edited that.
They
This is-
removed it, so
yeah,
they
okay.
actually they
That's what I'm
covered it
thinking.
up.
That's what I'm
Hey,
thinking.
this is great. This article about what you were talking. It says Wizard of Oz secrets: dwarf orgies, drunken brawls, knives, flat boobs, and stars almost killed.
Man, the Wizard of Oz sounded fun to work on. I just want to be one of the tree people.
It was ahead of its time.
Yeah, you could have been a tree person and got in on that stuff.
Exactly. Anyway, all right. So that's
God, we gotta start fucking the trees.
that's the end of Superman versus the Mole Men. I liked it, not versus the Mole Men and the Mole Men.
Right.
I liked
I
it.
thought it was called Superman versus the
Right,
Moment.
'cause that-
I didn't even.
That makes sense for what movie I had in my brain. Anyway, I liked it. I thought it was a nice short movie. If it was longer than 60 minutes, I probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I feel the same.
I didn't like Dad Bod Superman, but other than that, I thought everything was fine.
I personally liked it a lot. I feel like it definitely, its low point is that it lacks Superman in the Superman
Mostly,
movie.
yeah.
But I felt like for what it was worth my time once.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
But I can,
I felt that there was literally no reason for Superman to even be in this film.
Well,
Well,
if
it
It was
he
like
wasn't.
if it was just
what
the
I-
Mole
what-
Men
what
at
we
the
were talking
time.
about was
Benson
like,
would be president if he wasn't there.
if Superman
Fascism
wasn't
took over
there,
at the end of the movie.
You're right.
Yeah.
If Superman wasn't there, the Mole Men would all be dead,
Mm-hmm.
and quite possibly the rest of them would be coming back to destroy the world with
Oh,
their ray gun.
right.
Well, honestly, those Mole Men were secret enough that.
You didn't watch the movie.
What am I talking about?
It is, it is
look.
cool that Superman happened to be there, though.
Biggest question is, how did the townspeople even find out about the mole people?
They didn't. They
no,
saw them.
They grouped into a big mob of people
Oh,
before
right.
Superman
A lot of
even
them-
They
got
just wanted
there.
to get the
Yeah, but-
monsters. They didn't know
yeah,
what they
a
were.
lot of people did talk
Okay.
about them.
They just wanted the monsters.
Okay.
They-
So,
Aaron, what do you think?
my thoughts on the movie whereas I wasn't a fan of it. Now, you guys are.
I think you're in the minority here.
Yeah, I much like the moment. No.
Is that okay to say?
Was that offensive? Anyway, go ahead.
No, the moment were the
Continue,
minority.
continue.
They were getting
Don't
hunted
linger.
down.
Don't linger.
No, what the problems I had with it was the fact that, like you said, there was a lack of Superman for a Superman
in a
movie.
with Superman's name in
Yeah.
the title.
Right. But also
You know,
But true, they
Can't
were
forget
there
the
a
moment.
lot.
But on top of it, I just felt like certain scenes went on too long.
Oh
Yeah,
You know,
I'll give you that.
but
That scene in the shed
scene
with the
where
shed
he's
burning
burning?
down was like 35 minutes long.
But to be fair, that's like an Oscar-winning performance.
Right.
He probably was actually dying in this building.
50. They didn't care. But yeah,
Yeah,
The glue that held all that fur together actually embedded into his skin.
he's just a furry man now.
Yeah.
Your computer is at
sorry.
My
risk.
computer's at risk. Oh no.
I'm sorry. All I can think now is that we had all these movies with werewolves, and he was now like a miniature werewolf stunt actor.
That's a damn shame.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm a fan. Would recommend it for one-time viewing.
One-time viewing.
David, you're the same boat.
Yep.
Question? Is this technically the first superhero movie?
There were serials before.
Yeah.
From all the research I've done, the first superhero movie was a Zorro movie, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Okay.
And then I think
the 20s.
followed by Lone Ranger.
Yeah, that counts too, I guess.
Yeah.
He has a mask, so if anything, that's all that
Well,
we need.
he's related to the Green Hornet, so.
Right, true. That's canon. We'll discuss that in the Green Hornet episode.
But,
So anyway, Josiah.
So this film is by no respect not a good film.
No.
It's not produced even for its time. It's just
Right.
very poorly done.
Right.
Mixing is terrible. You made a point of that.
Man, the audio hurt me.
Cutting is awful, and you can tell when they're just tight on space and they don't know what to do with their set because there's moments of dialogue between Kent and Lois. Lois, excuse me.
Lane.
where it goes on for a solid 5 minutes of a scene, doesn't cut to any other shots, and it's like a stage play of their dialogue, which is.
And she doesn't do anything to make it fun either.
Yeah,
she
no.
berates
It's
Clark
just
Kent.
it's just single shot.
If you were to
very-
watch this as solely a Superman movie, it would be real disappointing.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Mole Man are also in the title. Honestly,
Something to look forward to.
If you just cut only the scenes of Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane, it's real bad. Superman stuff is okay, but Clark Kent and Lois Lane, Clark Kent in this movie, to be fair, was it's the first time I've ever seen him actually as a good reporter.
Right. Yeah, he's doing his job really well.
But Lois Lane is the worst character I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
She's really bad.
Yeah, no, Lois Lane was just.
she was
served no
written for that
purpose.
position. Definitely.
Yeah.
Josiah, would you have preferred if it was what me and David originally thought the movie was going to be?
Superman versus the Mole Man.
Waves of Mole Men attacking the planet. Because I think this is better than what we could. It could have been way dumber.
I couldn't have expected for the movie being made in its time to be any better with a situation like that.
Right.
I can imagine a projection screen behind Superman and him punching faceless little beanie people out of frame.
That'd be good.
As the projection is
we can make that
has
one. We have a
waves
green
of
screen.
yeah.
And you are a much more
I
Superman.
am bigger than George Reeves, so we can do this.
Yeah.
All right, and so Aaron?
Yeah, I would recommend a one-time viewing of this.
Yeah.
Mainly because Benson.
Okay,
You're gonna-
see how fun this character is, and then you don't really have to watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I said, watch it for Benson, because Benson's
He's a masterpiece.
he's a masterpiece. I mean, the dude literally punches a sheriff.
Every movie
no
from
kidding.
now on is going to be, you know what we can use in this movie?
Benson.
It could. There's some of the movies on this dang
Straight
list that you have us watch deserve a Benson.
That just turn over democracy at the flip of a coin and get a sheriff in jail.
Can you imagine?
So, Devin, are we making a master list of these films?
Yes. All right.
Is that our plan?
We're going chronologically with these movies. So the next movie is going to be Batman the movie from
1966.
66? I thought it was 70 something. All right.
And
With Adam West.
hey,
Adam West is Batman.
Oh,
Adam
shit.
West.
hey, now
Rest in peace.
to give
R.I.P.
the audience a little bit of a taste of what that movie's like, all I could say is Shark Attack with helicopter.
Oh,
There's
don't
a-
forget
I-
Shark
oh
Repellent.
my God.
I actually did watch part of this movie.
Yeah,
I need to
I've
watch
seen
it
this
again.
movie a few times. So yeah, that's going to be our
Yeah,
next
I've
one.
seen it.
And we are going to be power ranking these movies as we go. We're going to, eventually make it a top 10 thing once we get more and more movies.
Yeah,
in.
yeah. When we reach 147.
So
Oh my goodness! I have to go-
Remember to subscribe to our Patreon.
yeah, please, because we're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives. So technically, as this is the first, DC big theatrically released superhero movie, this is the number one superhero movie that we have.
Well, technically, it's number one because it's the only one we've done.
Exactly, but it's still number one. Enjoy however long you have it, that reign, Superman and the Mole Men. We will be back next time with Batman the movie. Thank you for joining in for the Superfluous Superflick Podcast. Superior, whatever the hell you want to call us. Just make sure it starts with an S. I'm Devin Fry.
I'm David Parker.
I'm Aaron Walling.
And I'm Josiah Martin.
Thank you. We did it, kids.
God, we need to change that name.
I started reading this article.
What?
Like
You don't
some of
like
these
that?
things are.
That's where I'm cutting it.
Judy Garland was taken on a date by one of the midgets.